If you do look it up as well, you would kind of think that between these two games, this one would be the closer one out of them. Of course, on that A stream, we've got the Renegades and VERTEX playing, and here Order and Ex-Direwolves. And, you know, as you mentioned, Renegades that have to pretty much bow out to VERTEX and then to the loser of this game. I guess we don't really see a world where that's happening, but if it does, it would be absolutely cool. The only thing on the back of that is essentially Order being the next closest in the RMR points. They'd kind of need to go through as well, because then Direwolves would start to be nipping at their heels.
Valiant's looking to take point now. Smoke as well, just to try to split up the troops there on the defense. Ricky trying to go forward, but everything a little bit crazy here. Sterling finds the first, and Savage close range, able to snag away another. It's going to be Licky dancing around default, left, right. Eventually, it's Sterling to pick up another, and things not going right for Order at all. Ustillo.
That it is empty at the moment, and if you are in one bomb site and know that no one's home, the chances are that they're all on the other side is pretty much 100%. So just creeping on through, trying to make the space that he can for his team to have a little bit of an easier run in for the bomb plant, and as that starts to come on through, the kills will also follow.
There you have it. Mop up from APOC as well. Find himself the triple.
Well, we've already got Licky up through scaffolding again. He's been able to make good use of this location and really buy a lot of time, a lot of information, hold the push at bay that Order might look to go with themselves. A beautiful nade on towards ramp, however, really softens up these Ex-Direwolves members, and with the flashes starting to go through, it's 1-on-1 trade. Vexite doubling down, and on the 3 versus 3, there's only 20 seconds to get this bomb plant.
Really need to push forward now. Molly over to Dig as well, so great use of what little util they've got left. Gyra holding down a bit of extra map control, and this is going to make it that little bit harder. Ex-Direwolves now forced to plant out in the open. Sterling, great coverage just to get that bomb planted, but it's all up to the young gun Savage, who's only got a smoker's cover. He goes forward, but the Orps reign supreme on the retake, and Order pick up their first round, 1-5 now up against Ex-Direwolves. Molly to default, and in comes this push bomb over towards the B side of the map as well, but still time to rotate. Gyro trying to hold it down the fort, does so successfully for 1 and a second. Great line going to be held, and he's still got some support from Vexite still there at default as well. So bomb going to be stuck over towards New Box for the moment, just trying to push its way forward. And in comes all of this util. Sterling needs to hit a couple of sharp ones, which he's going to do. Fights his way to sight, but he's hungry for a little more. And it's 2-for-1 trades in this situation, all up to Ricky now in the 1-on-1. And with 40 seconds, Sterling is going to commit to the plant now.
And Ricky should know he's low as well with the damage to come on through. The sidearm's out, but it doesn't even matter right now as Sterling holds on for the 4K.
But there is one on the front of site, which might have actually helped him. However, no one's tapping that bomb. No one's forcing the T's out of their position. Hazard now still just dancing around sandbags. No one's on the bomb yet. And Order, they've left it too late. Absolute travesty for them. Miscommunication somewhere along the line. But
really making them quite vulnerable time and time again at the beginning of these rounds. And at least for the start of this one, it goes the other way with Valiant's finding 2, but Hazza immediately there for a bit of a trade. Yeah, another Molotov's going through from the Ex-Direwolves as well. They do still have a HE grenade in the back of Savage's possession, but with all the players sitting around the generator right now, we're going to see a later towards Vexite, and Hazza just immediately doubling on through. Makes it into the 1 versus 2 for Ricky, and with the boomstick, it's going to be quite hard for him to be able to go for, but Savage gives him an opportunity now for the 1 versus 1, but you know what you hear? You hear the time. It's ticked too far again, and he's going to have to take that gun into the next round.
Certainly do hear that bomb exploding. Licky. No, he's got plenty of cash. He's got no other option. And you can see Ricky as well. He's not even going to check his corner. So it's a knife to half.
Licky.
Certainly looks like that. Smoke as well, just buying a little bit of extra time. Gyro, though, going to take a very aggressive fight. Another onto Vexite, too. So Ex-Direwolves, man advantage now, just pushing back in, and they've got so much time to retake here. Smoke already going down to the bomb and forcing Ustillo to be in a very awkward situation. So it's up to Ricky, up to Valiant, trying to make this one happen. Valiant needs to try to get into a post plate where he can stop. Well, looks like it's a timing push, swinging in, trying to catch the T's with their pants down, but it's not worked out.
B site is right for the taking. Haz is going to start to make his rotation. Where's the bomb right now? It does start to go down just in the nick of time, in fact. Oh, you talk about leading it too late now. Savage gets absolutely destroyed by a jumping Ustillo.
Apoc didn't actually look over towards the elbow either, so didn't quite spot it. However, reinforcements starting to come through, but it's all up to big boy Rick. Trying to make this happen in the 1-on-2. Has to play from an open position at Sandbags. Util coming through, but he's managed to find a time. Smoke fade in, connects onto one, and Savage falls. And it's up to Ricky. 1-on-1 with Licky. Who's the better Icky? Well, we're about to find out because it's jiggling over the top. Ricky, head spotted, but he's pushing. He's running low on time, and Ricky can't connect. There is a kit here, so that will be the game. Vertigo going over to Direwolves, 16-10. Order tried so hard, but it was not quite enough this time. Great trade coming through from Savage as well, just to dominate a main. And now all long range coming in from CT. The flank is starting to come through, but Vex, like these Julies, he's able to lay a little bit of groundwork, finding two, but can't find the final man. There is a kit in the hands of Gyra. Valiant swapping over to the Julies, and that defuse. It's wrangled the whole way through. The smoke was there, and Gyra gets the first round on the board for Orders.
Very optimal position for them to be able to fall on back, so they have to keep numbers in here. Valiance is getting out a bit of a flank. In the meanwhile, Gyro manages to find Apoc, and now's go time for Order to start to get on towards this defuse. A little bit of missed utility to come on through, but it doesn't matter, Mac, as Order managed to navigate all of the frags.
It is going to be the numbers advantage on the retake. B-site found early for Ex-Direwolves, and they just had no idea Ustillo was hiding in a smoke in cutout. So off that contact, the rest of the push comes through, but Ustillo has just done it all himself with a triple from the back of sight. Oh my lord. Order 7 on the board and 4 alive at the end. Finally finding the headshot, but it's up to Vexite now to try and buy some time. Him and Ustillo just trying to work together here. Vexite has no util remaining, but it's going to be Ustillo taking contact, taking 2 kills as well. And everything is just going bad to worse for Ex-Direwolves. It's Savage now in a 1-on-4, and the man's only got a Mac 10 to play with. So, see what he's going to be able to do. Oh, has that dig, actually. Gets one, but he's going to be stuck in the corner. Flank will come through eventually.
Ex-Direwolves found that one before. Is this the second?
Well, in comes the push through the smoke now. Awkward situation, but it is going to be Ricky left last alive, and he's so far away. Knowing that Apoc lurks through mid pretty much every single round. The rest of the Ex-Direwolves just a clean take on B. He's coming in from the A site, trying to fight for his life here in CT, but he's got nowhere to go after that contact.
Does he fancy himself a bit of a push through with a flash that isn't actually there? They are indeed going to go for the boost, putting Licky, but that's seen. Down, and Order. They are reading the Ex-Direwolves right now.
I have a feeling Valiance was going to pre-fire it anyway, but also spotted the jump up over the smoke. And as that fades as well, Order going for the gamble play, just sitting in it, and now going for the full wrap around quad. But Savage, heads up play, watching this angle. However, it looks like it is just not Ex-Direwolves' day on Ancient. As Sterling now in the 1-on-2, hasn't tapped the bomb yet, hasn't forced Order out of this position. And Val now, they know that he's here. Smoke dropped. Are we going to see another ninja? Not this time. Valiant spotted him before the smoke bloomed. And there you have it, 16-4 on map number 2 in the series. You might find this contact in Order. There's the commitment, but Hazard A1S a little too strong this time, and he's going back for seconds as well. Sterling comes in, just trying to lay down some groundwork, and again, Hazard, he's run out of bullets, but goes for the quick switch and might be able to get that reload off in time. It's Valiant with 11 HP and a dream, but the flank's coming through, and he'll be collapsed upon in just a damn moment. Shoulder surely spotted, and Valiant, he's out of here. And Order may have swindled their way back into the round. Ricky with 2 already. Valiant's on full HP and 2 flashes to play with. Savage still just waiting to clear out close towards door. Hazard popping off the contact. Ricky's fallen. But at the same time now, the wrap's starting to come through from Valiant and Ex-Direwolves. They've hit the brakes. They've gone in reverse, but they've expected it. Valiant's, though, too damn sharp with the AK.
Has to try and hold down the ramp. There's the first one. And he will look to try and fall back now.
Swinging back for more, and this did not work for Order before, and there you have it. At least 1 from the grave for Vexite with the molly, but has a holding down the fort. 2 for him, 2 for Sterling. We were just talking about how he wasn't on the board just yet, and has a opting. However, let's see how he goes on the timing. Savage, look at this positioning. Able to swing on the contact. We love to see it from the CTs working together.
In the midst of getting in towards this A site at the moment, the door will eventually be blown on through. Here is the time. It's go time for Order.
There you have it, Annex bus coming through, but the frags go in the way of Sterling. Man's got a triple headshot to plenty, bomb in sight, and he quads it up as well. He's got
15
extra
seconds.
help as well from a couple of the other boys. There's a contact.
Oh,
Has a
Ricky.
falling, pushes some players out of position, but we do see the swing and the solid crossfire from Savage and APOC. It works out for a couple, but there is the bloody lineup. Savage finding a couple of heads and another round for Ex-Direwolves in the process.
Hazard's your linchpin here. He doesn't really need to do much but buy time and deny the plant. Same as APOC.
Oh, there's the contact and the instant mop-up.
Crucial round again for Order. You know, if they can make it 5, it'll soften the blow that they have been dealt by the Ex-Direwolves as they do start to wait and go in toward this A site. Gyro gets his head taken off by Savage, and this is go time for the Order squad to get back in toward it. 2 trades going back their way as they look to establish a plant. Miss Molotov, though, is going to allow Hazard to go in for a bit of a peek and put Ustilo to use his.
Let's see if timing's a factor here for Sterling, just coming in very, very sneaky through the lobby. There's eyes on all of these positions as well. Vexite from CT Vent able to trade. They have no idea where Sterling is. It has to be up to this man if he wants a chance, but Vexite says, not today, my friend. Swinging from CT Vent. There's a couple of doors being broken. There's a lot of flashes here. There's T's all out on the A site, and Gyra not going to be able to hold it for the moment. Crossfire is there, and the CTs, tapping heads with those USPs.
They are planting their feet. They are not being budged. But Vexite, once his running shoes on, Savage and Sterling are going to say no. But now it's only down to the ladder as he tries to investigate a 1 versus 3. And the CTs are going to be holding their hands. Sterling good for 1, but the second one does escape him.
And APOC playing in front of him as well. Might be able to find a timing on the Annex player. Gyra spamming. Not going to be able to have any bullets to trade his teammate who ran into Annex. And in comes the bust now. A-site defenders not ready for that aggression.
Yeah, well, Gyro's looking to get a little bit of a trade out. It's not going to work, unfortunately, as you can't stop the POC, it would seem, in this round. We've been waiting for him to activate, and finally, where required. But this also does mean that my prediction is in the bin. That's why I did say 16-11 to Order.
Well, great hold from Ustilo here, just playing around that AC unit and get some extra damage onto the T's. If one more falls, then it's kind of danger territory in terms of that economy.
Play in toward this B site right now because Order can have every single entry point into this site locked off. They got the flank that'll come over towards the big old Mega Door ramp as well. Ricky's just found one, but they are trying to hold on. It's Havza and Savage in toward these tunnels. The doors are wide open. The smoke and the flash that they are able to utilize. If Gyro puts this incendiary down to those double doors, it might make things quite interesting. But the rat's starting to come away. And the bomb, I mean, heck, they just jumped on it and started defusing it. Come in through the secret tunnel. And who else would they go in towards? None other than Sterling. He's smoked off the mix. He's going to peek his head up where required as Savage is missing a bunch of these bullets. But now it's Sterling to line them up. And Ex-Direwolves, as the frags do start to come back from Order, the time has essentially already been bought. Hazard peeks out and drills them into the ground. And that is 15 for the Ex-Direwolves.
It's extremely crucial, just keeping himself alive. And Gyra as well. Maybe the silencer spotted, tries to get the smoke out over towards Decon. Valiant's only good for 1, but Gyra still around here, able to potentially fight. It's just so damn awkward for him. Ex-Direwolves, they are on the hunt. They're sniffing him out, and Sterling strikes. There you have it. A man disadvantage for Order on the retake, and Ex-Direwolves in prime position to take the dub.
This is everything right now as well. Do they play together or do they look to pincer in toward the site to cordon off a lot more angles and cover out a lot more angles? Sterling is just kept in the corner, but Savage up into Econ. He wins the duel against Ustilo, and now it's all on to Ricky for the chances of Order to continue in the upper bracket. It's not going to happen, as Sterling will dome him straight out of the server. That is GG.
I'm taking a look back as well, and I'm seeing a lot of single-digit results between Renegades and VERTEX, and that's what's kind of concerning me. I mean, look, we've got the two teams here, pound for pound. You know, you look at Renegades, you say these are some of the biggest names in ANZ Counter-Strike, and they have been for a very long time on an individual level. That's fair enough. VERTEX seems to be like the opposite end of the spectrum, where these are sort of a team of more of up-and-comers. I know we wouldn't necessarily normally classify them as up-and-comers in that sense, but I think on a stage like this, in a situation like this, they are still the up-and-comers. They are still the underdogs. They are still the younger team. Nice map control for Renegades, but they may well be walking into the trap that is going to be set by VERTEX. 4 players towards the B bomb site. I'm not sure that VERTEX is expecting this wrap through CT, though. They haven't got anyone spotting that line. It'll be a freebie, a free kill for Sicko. Inns will chime in for the second, and eventually RNG will start to pull this one apart. They're not necessarily going to run into this one like a headless chicken. They're still expecting a bit more resistance on the bomb site, and they are going to be rewarded for their patience and their fundamentals. Addict is finding a few kills. There's a third for him as well. RNG starting to let this one slip away a little bit from them.
Close in library, not sure if he has been heard there, Alistair. He's on a bit of an off angle. Addict trying to clear out all of the lines, but unfortunately, the crab spray with the AK.
This is the chance for the good timing. Hats will have to bite it correctly through the smoke. He wants to go. You can tell Inns is there with him. They're both going to send it. In fact, all of Renegades is going to send it into the firing squad that is known as Apocdud. He's already got 3 in the round and might be on for the 5. Sicko eventually will get the better of him. That'll be bomb plant down for Renegades. They drop Sicko to 26 HP, so very difficult task ahead of him here. And he's not going to be given much. Coming across from the B bomb side into A, and it's a good timing that they do because Apocdud back over to B, really just running all over the map, and they're going to have to do it quickly here. Pilski, 18 seconds left on the clock. Hats is leading the charge. If 1 or 2 of these players drop, the round is over. Roffelko falls quite quickly. Hats fake flashing with his AK. I'm not sure what's going on here. The PZ inevitably does get the kill onto Alistair, but ultimately, the bomb plant will go down.
Oh, Malta. He's on the big flank here. If Renegades could just buy time, Sicko and Hats, crossfire from New Box, smoke onto main is going to buy even more time and allow Hats to kind of play around the smoke and go over towards banana side. But he is smoked off now. Malta now making his way through CT spawn.
He's got to speed it up. He's really got to speed it up because the crunch is starting to come. Malta will find Apocdud. That's a fox among the henhouse. Hats tries to keep his head down, but it eventually falls to Malta in the 1-on-2. He'll get the shot onto Addict, but PZ's good for the trade. I'm sure they're not going to be resting on their laurels if it becomes a 10-4. They'll be wanting 11. Nothing really spotted over on the B bomb site for VERTEX, so they're going to make a bit of a gamble and rotate those players across to A. Thought Apocdud was going to go across with PZ, but in the end it is just the one man, but he's the guy with the weapon. PZ with the AWP arrives on A. He's going to have to be a difference maker here. Able to establish himself on an angle, but Malta spotted it. PZ didn't see Malta creeping out on the balcony, so that's quite swiftly dealt with by Renegades.
The individual tools cleanly enough, not being able to convert this retake. Very, very fast pressure in towards banana, and actually VERTEX are coming out ahead of it. Apocdud's able to double up, but Sicko finds a pick in middle as well. And now we're into one of these messy 3-on-3s, and that's where Renegades do their best work. They're going to find that pick in towards banana.
There's obviously no concerns right now for Renegades. They think...
Looking very likely to be that 11-4 here.
Addict with 22 HP, a Famis and a dream really at this point. Molotov down, try to draw out a peek from one of the T's, but neither are sitting in that position, so his chances are slimming ever so quickly. He doesn't even really have time for the defuse anymore. He's just going to have to send it. He's going to have to get onto that bomb and make the defuse happen. There is literally no other way he wins the round.
They took that victory in Cologne over Na'Vi. That was a pretty impressive one. So I dare say it's going to be difficult for VERTEX. They're going to try to jump straight up jungle side and take a couple of duels with the CTs, but it seems like this jungle and Torch crossfire has been more than good enough for Renegades to close out the round. Addict's going to drag back a couple, and he picks up the bomb, so there is space for VERTEX here in this 2-on-4. Yeah. With Addict alive and Apocdud, these two have actually kind of been the standouts for VERTEX.
He's going to send in scurrying back over to B, but he really needs to hightail it back over toward A to help Alistair out. Or maybe not.
With this jungle wrap coming in for VERTEX, but actually going to execute up dig side, Jordan.
Sicko's ready and waiting though with the MP5. He's been covered off by Malta, who is kind of doing the lion's share of the work at the moment. Alistair also able to chime in, and that is a very clean round from Renegades. You could not ask for much more.
We could see a bit of a highlight here.
Well, there it is, Pilski. Just the one, not quite the highlight that you were asking for, but the smoke faded well enough for Hats. Inns only has a deagle to play with here. Just a flash as well. CZ from Sicko is going to find its mark before the smoke blooms. Roffelko feeling a little bit awkward when that swing does eventually come through. It's a two-man peak, and Addict is the last one left alive. He's watching the wrong angle. No one's coming from Banana. Has to turn his attention towards Sicko and Alistair. Of course, that is going to leave Inns to come from behind. with the Deagle, and Renegades will get the map victory. Not the round that VERTEX would have been too happy to lose, but in the end, it was always going to be a round that was going to be difficult for them, a map that was going to be difficult for them, and VERTEX starting off on the T side. What do Util to play with as well, and they're going to put that Molotov straight into Sandbag, clear that area of the map out. Renegades not concerned about that at all. And they'll start to even rotate the majority of their forces over toward A here. They've completely left B. Inns is working his way across, and the rest of the lads are coming up through the ramp, which is not a position that I think the VERTEX lads will be expecting much to come from. And indeed, it works out perfectly. Zico gets a couple, Alistair with the nade, another, and overall the trades are working to perfection for Renegades. It's a little bit isolated here, but the defuse is tapped, and the swing will come through.
Great. Really, from VERTEX is exactly what it is. They didn't feel like they needed to force the issue there towards ramp at all. They bided their time in the early round. They bait out a lot of that CT side utility, and then they throw structured utility to be able to complete that retake on the key part of the map, in towards scaffold, in towards ramp. What started out clean, though, is started to come apart at the hinges there. Sicko manages to take 3 guns off the tees at the tail end of that round to get some damage done. Let's see if that does end up going back the other way, but I'm looking at the positioning for Inns and Malta. Alistair doing great counter flash work.
Misses that orb shot, but not going to make a mistake on the second chance he has on Waffle. So in the end, should get through this round pretty much unscathed. Well done by Inns to win the 1-on-2.
Renegades definitely came in and did the hard yards, winning a couple of those rounds pretty cleanly. Apok died again, trying to apply pressure to scaffold. It's always him and Malta how these rounds start, and this time he's going to start it right for VERTEX.
Dud has been a massive success tonight for VERTEX. But Alistair, oh, never mind. He's not even going to get the chance to fire a shot. Apok Dud does not care. He's just going to send it on his own. He's going to win the round on his own. He doesn't need teammates, and nor does Sicko, apparently, who's just going to go straight through the smoke. Hero play from Sicko, but he's got a lot more to do. Waffle will try to chase him down. No problems there at all. 8-7 at the end of the half, Pilski. Go, big spam. Oh, you love to see that. Lots of money for the AWPer. Inns comes in to take a couple as well. And Sicko trying to pick the pace up into mid. Won't find too much success there. But, hey, that's a round that Renegades will be pretty happy with.
I like that. Either way, this is all that VERTEX have left. Brace. Oh my god. Deleted.
Yeah, he was on a pretty decent angle with that Deagle. Would have definitely found one, but Inns a bit too sharp this time. And Renegades will start to rampage their way into the bomb site. Addict is not feeling too healthy after that spam through the smoke, and Sicko will put an end to his misery. Seems like that is going to be where Vertigo is headed as well. 15 very quickly, looking like it'll turn to 16. Another one from Inns in this round. He's been opening up the bomb site quite nicely. 3 kills already. He's put to a stop by PZ, but a 1-on-3 with the AWP, trying to retake the bomb site with only such little time to play with. It just ain't gonna happen. 16-8 is the scoreline. Renegades will pick up the victory. They'll get the 2-0. And as said previously, they will continue on in that upper bracket after a very nice game number 1 here against VERTEX.
Yeah, you do have that smoke and the flash for PZ to be able to allow him cross to that A site, and he's going to invest at Riki, creeping up the ramp. Apok Dud should have this covered off, but he might have just threaded the needle on the perfect timing here.
Oh, Riki creeps up ramp, has been spotted by PZ, who will not have the chance for a shot, and Riki wins the 2 kills for his team, and the round as well, of course. Looks like VERTEX wants to try avenge that over on the B bomb site, and they've done a reasonable job of it. Getting 1. Valiance, however, holding strong with the FAMAS. Didn't expect that many kills from him with that weapon, but he's gotten it done. And now PZ is left on 1 HP.
They're looking to try to find a pick onto one of these T's. You're absolutely right. 2 nades being dropped over. There was a nade left in CT spawn, and he's been able to get a kill with them. That's a perfect example of this update having massive impact here. PZ put into the 1-on-2, and he's going to connect on the first.
Well, Riki knows now where he is. We'll pop the flash down just to obscure the vision a little bit, and even drops down into CT as well. Riki wasn't quite expecting that, but PZ? What?
Well, we don't hear everything. You might have seen the circle jump, and then Riki might have scoped up.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Riki, he always sideways, makes good use of the Zeus. What is going on?
Well, he's going to have a couple of players headed in his direction. A1S in hand, gets the better of Brace and Addict as well. That's exactly what Vexite would have liked. Interesting angle from Valiance. I wonder if it's going to be checked properly by Vertex. PZ, yeah, not quite. And Motion goes down as well. Perfect stuff from Valiance.
Well, that was very close on the half buy. Good damage for Vertex. That actually keeps the window for them to economically reset order open a little bit more. Again, this long fight, Addict's being sent out, and he's going to convert onto Vexite. Hiding inside the smoke, the Flasher's trying to set him up for more success, and he's going to find it as well. Vertex, feeling like it's coming together. The money's looking great. Opening pick.
He's crept so far up behind this smoke, and it's going to fade favorably for him. He gets PZ to have full control of long. They haven't been able to clear out short, and so that's going to be an area that they're concerned about. PZ, talk about taking initiative. And it really all comes down to Brace, doesn't it? How many can he find? Yes, he should get the first one onto Vexite here. We'll need a little bit more than that. And Ricky, oh, he doesn't quite have it all covered. The AWP shot doesn't connect. Brace will punish him. Gyra's on 13. Ustillo gets dominated. Brace, what is going on?
Yeah. That's probably a round-winning push there. Addict's got the cross here, but with a Famas, I mean, he's lucky Gyra's so low, and he's actually able to get both. That was a really nice shot onto Valiance.
So they'll be able to cross up onto ramp at the very least, though they'll have to deal with that incendiary thrown in from Apocdud. He drops down and starts to try to take the fight towards order, which he's done a very good job of. That is bomb dropped in CT. There is no way for Order to get that bomb back unless they just frag out, and they're not currently doing that. Ricky got one. One is not enough. He's got to deal with Addict. There's not a lot of time here for Order, so this is not bad from Vertex. It really starts to put that pressure back on the T side. Once these smokes fade, Gyra's going to have to get some work done, and he doesn't expect Addict hiding behind the smoke.
Seems like what they're going to go for. Timing play in towards B. Flashbang onto the line.
Ooh, Addict just has to walk away and have faith in Brace's AWP, which proves to be quite fruitful. Already a couple of kills going the way of Brace. The crossfire now established for Vertex. Makes it almost impossible for Order to get into the site. Well done by Vertex. They make it look clean. It's all right, Pilski, relax. Take a breath. It's my turn to talk anyway. Order is starting to make their way into the A-bomb side, and Vexite gets helped out by some very nice flashes. That is sharp indeed. Vexite pulls a rabbit out the hat for Order, and that might be what they actually need to win this match, because everything else has been going the way of Vertex. Vexite, a 3K so far, but Addict is not prepared to let slip control of this map just yet. Finds himself a double, needs the backup from Brace. A 2-on-3, still a tough ask, particularly when Addict is on 7 HP, but if someone could have taken down Ricky, maybe it would have happened. Maybe not, though, is the answer this time. Allow Order to get into the bomb site, those two smokes. Vexite looking to maintain control of Cheetah. Will take a duel against Brace. Not too many shots connecting, and Brace eventually will go one better. Hits the head. Apocdud now down on 2 HP, but the numbers are starting to get a bit too egregious here for Order. Someone has to find a kill somewhere, and then they're going to have to double down and do a little bit more. PZ on the full 10-second defuse. Doesn't look like he's going to be harassed all that much, and somehow...
Okay, that'll help. Molotov takes out PZ. He was only on 2 HP, and unfortunately, it seems like hits his toe in the flames, and that was the end of him. Now, Addict, I think, going to get isolated over towards Donut. He's got assistance, but speaking of clicking on heads, this man's been doing it all day.
Yeah, Ustillo will go down as well. I'm not sure that he spotted Ricky in the end, though, so he will lose his life. But Motion has got Vexite as well, so Ricky is just going to send it into A. He needs to turn around and deal with Motion, and he's still doing a good job of surviving, but he's only got 9 seconds here, and he's planting open for Donut, so he should go down to Brace. Oh, too close for comfort.
Definitely not the worst thing I've seen with a USP round.
One kill for the USPs. Not much more than that to get excited about in round 4. Vertex. Apocdud was spotted.
Seeming like a bit of a P execute though, so PZ over there with this AWP, and the 2 players in towards Cheetah might pose some problems here for Order.
Now, both avenues of attack are smoked off by Order, so it is this push from behind, from motion, that might make the big difference. He's found the timing, but he's being watched by Ustillo, and it'll end up being a 1-for-1, which is not quite enough yet for Vertex. PZ looks to creep forward with the AWP. Has to step away as a result of that flash coming through, and time now starts to become a factor for the CT side. That's a nice shot from Valiance. He's going to pick the pace up onto PZ as well, who won't quite hit the shot onto Ustillo.
But actually, they walk into B, but Vertex, they just don't respect it in the 4-on-5 at all. They walk straight through it, they get all of the info, and now this is excellent timing for motion.
Able to get the double kill there as well, and escape unscathed. And he's surely not going to do so. Oh! He slows down and hides inside the smoke. That gives some room for Valiance, but they have not spotted Brace.
Where APOC died, you could have said he had a decent timing there, but this time he gets denied. And I think that might be the difference.
Predict needs to find a head here, and he does! What a shot! Taps away at Vexite. 8 seconds. Ricky's going to try and plant the bomb off the back of the flash. Valiance can't cover. Ricky's got nowhere to go. And that's Vertex to win another round.
How? How does this keep happening?
What can they do with just the pistols? Back 10 there for Vexite, but it won't last for too long. They're just trying to brawl their way out onto the bomb side, and they have been obliterated. They've got the numbers advantage, and it's very quickly been ripped away from them. Layers upon layers, though, as Ustillo is inside of the B bomb site. There's 10 seconds to get the bomb down for Order. Valiance making the entries happen on A.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Order's T side, though. I think there's just, you know, a couple of smaller things in terms of timings that they need to iron out. We'll leave that by the wayside, though. Vertex speeding things up on this first T side pistol round. Nice little execute onto the B site. High percentage smokes, Molotovs into all the annoying angles, but unfortunately, they lose motion on the way out of the site.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate start, though. They have managed to get the bomb plant down, and they've got the angles smoked off, which will make it a bit more difficult for Order. As they do fade, though, Order will start to begin their retake in earnest. That's a nice shot from Gyra. Another good one from Valiance, but they weren't expecting Brace still in Cave. He's going to put to bed 1, 2, 3. Brace is having a monster round, but it's just not enough. Ustillo sat the defuse.
They do have upset potential on some of these top teams, but I just didn't expect it in these circumstances coming off the form that they've been showing.
Start for Valiance, very decent start. Double kill, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out of here alive. He'll hide himself in the smoke, gets 3. Oh my god!
Will not allow Vertex to go back for a plan B. They're going to walk straight up ramp into Vexite.
He continues to tap away, but it's Vexite doing the real damage. Double kill from him. Motion should go down as well. It's 3 for Vexite to get the round done for Order. They need to just push an extremity, make something happen, hope that Ustillo can get something done. Never mind. It'll have to be Vexite here, but he's going to be deleted by APOC Dud. It looks like we're headed to a map 3 at this point in time. 3 on 5. And Vertex are doing the unthinkable with a sub, no less. They're taking Order's map away from them after such a good showing on Ancient last night from Order. We did not think it was possible. We did not think it was possible for them to win a 3 on 5 either, though, Pilski. And maybe that's still on the cards. Defuse has to begin. A tap in there. Brace gives away his position with those shots, but he doesn't get the kill. There was no one defusing. Ricky on the line. Brace goes down, and now it's on to Addict. One shot onto Valiance. Ricky gets it done, and Order survive.
Order has a much better buy than the last round as well. Much better retake potential. Vertex, they're going to try to go back to what worked so well for them in that last round. And again, they've just been able to crack the B site like a chestnut here. Straight in there.
Ustillo is playing with fire at the moment, but he does get the better of motion. Tries to take the second on Addict. It won't work out in his favor. Bomb plant's gone down again. And again, Order need to win from a numbers deficit. Valiance on this angle, surely no chance in hell that PZ misses that shot. So that brings it back to 2. Need to see Ricky step up once again with that AWP. Gyra will need to win his duel as well. Smoke's going down. It's on to Ricky, but there's too much to do. 16-14 for VERTEX. They'll win map number 2. So that would be a big win for VERTEX, even if it doesn't mean they can qualify for the major or anything like that. And it certainly would be a weight off the shoulders of Renegades as well, in terms of that qualification spot. But either way, we're into the pistol, need to focus on that. Addict is starting strong for VERTEX, and you get the sense that this storyline that we've started to sell is not just a possibility. It could well be a reality if things continue to go the way they have been. PZ will drop, however, and we're back to a 4-on-3.
They're trying to sow some seeds of doubt in VERTEX's mind, and you've started to see some rotations come out. This is creating gaps in the defense for Ricky to abuse, and he's done beautifully to find that headshot. But Addict, again, super on point. Instant trade back.
3 kills so far in the pistol. Apoc Dud's going to grab another one for VERTEX.
Oh.
And Addict has lost his life now as well. So it's just motion with the MP9. They weren't expecting an extra player on that line. Fair enough. But it's only 1 kill pegged back. And now Apoc Dud has a mighty job to do on this site. He knows he's getting wrapped upon by Valiance. Turns around and dispatches of him. And keeps it alive for VERTEX. Eventually, he'll drop. Motion has spotted Ricky dropping into water, but Gyra's there as well. An awkward fight for Motion to take. He needs to find a way to isolate these duels, and he just hasn't quite been able to do so. And 4A1S is going to be picked up. Maybe he feels a bit more confident with that one, but eventually we go back to the org, and it's not quite going to go his way. So, just when you sense the opportunity is there for VERTEX to really start to gain control of this half order, bounce back again, and have the numbers advantage. Addict, nice spray down onto Vexite, but Yustillo's there for the trade, and so if that's all Order does for the rest of this round, they're going to win from here.
Oh, that might be the key frag, though. That's the player taking out a dirty water. There's no way they expect Motion there. They saw the flash come over the top from the site.
This is only for Order, not even any armor. And that's a rather unceremonious death for Yustillo. Addict will just finish him off without a second thought. Looks like he wants to go for a little bit more here. It could cost Addict his life, but he's sharp enough to win that duel. Slowly but steadily, VERTEX are righting the ship.
Looking clean. Haven't dropped a gun yet. They're closing this one up with 5 alive. You know, we're early on in this half. That's where they want to be. Yeah. They're looking sharp as well. 3rd map of the series, and we're seeing
faster play in towards short water from Brace this time. He's going to take the challenge off the back of the flash. They weren't good to begin with, but now they're really not good.
Oh. This would be a good way to get back into the round. A kill off the boost. They're going to get it too.
Yeah, but with 16 seconds left, Apoc Dud is just going to push his way up through short. Catch Gyra off. The bomb is still making its way through Monster Tunnel. And I can't imagine he gets the bomb down here when there's a player hiding inside of the smoke. Brace makes it look easy. Not sure that is going to be fooling VERTEX. They've still got numbers up here. And Brace hiding behind the smoke as it fades. We'll get the trade onto Gyra, but Valiance is there to sort of ensure that at least it's a 3-on-3. Plant is going down. Double nade in on top of Valiance. Doesn't do as much damage as you might expect. Motion tries to take a challenge. That's Apoc Dud to bail him out of trouble. Valiance goes down. Can he get another one? Well, Vexite might be on the cards today for Order to bring it back into something impressive, unless PZ has some words about it. Yustillo spotted and PZ pulls off another one. VERTEX, everything they touch turns to gold. And that is 10 on the CT side. Double digits secured. And in fact, they're actually not going to have to face a particularly difficult round here. It's just the Glocks. So normally you'd see the T side fly up a little bit into a round like this, but they've got something else up their sleeve. This might actually work out. Push coming through from the tunnel is actually going to be pretty good from Order in the end. It looked like it was going to be...
They're saving a lot of utility. You know, usually you see the T's use a lot of utility to work their way through this part of the map. But when there's no AWP, you don't have to worry about it as much. Ricky making that scoped rifle look like an AWP at this point. Although you can't multi-frag like that, a 4K for him at this point.
A good first half does not a map win make, Pilski. VERTEX, they put in the hard yards, they got to 11. What is that from PZ?
Anti-eco, first gun round, goes beautifully. Triple nade over there onto the boost. And those are the kind of things that, I mean, it seems a good little mop up here for Vex side, but those are the kind of things that...
Valiance keeping an eye on Monster. Time is starting to tick away for VERTEX. They've only got 30 seconds here to start to make their way through the tunnel. Excellent flash from Gyra. Sets it up nicely for Valiant, and he's not going to need to do too much work on too short. Order have closed the gap now to 2. But it's starting to get to that point where you think Order's looking a little bit more comfortable in this second half, and VERTEX is going to need to dig deep and find something. But they might not be able to do it over at the B bomb site, because Valiance is on an absolute tear this evening.
Support B roll super well. Valiance is multi-fragging up a storm. You go to the other side of the map, Ricky's AWPing you.
Last play from VERTEX, and they're going to have to go quickly, aren't they? 15 seconds left here. They're still not into the bomb site. They need to find the openers, and so far they're not coming cleanly. Brace drops the bomb. That's the round over. Apoc surely can't get up there and plant it in time. He had to take the fight against Gyra, and in doing so, would this be a masterstroke to get into the B bomb site? Well, they're going to have to go quickly. Through the molly, Brace is just going to send it. It works out for him. PZ trades him down, and the bomb plant can get on the floor. Nice cover from PZ here as well. Motion will drop. Oh, no, he won't! PZ, what a shot! And now it's 3-on-2. VERTEX might just, at the 11th hour, be able to pull off a win here against Order, who was so good on the CT side. You still owe works to forward a triple kill, and Order survive another one.
Honestly, Ricky, aggressive on this bathroom side, might just get a freebie for himself. Brace walks straight into his crosshair.
Yeah, VERTEX are going to try and trade it down. Apoc dart. Oh, Ricky with a collateral. He gets one more.
They respect the fact that VERTEX can go back towards B, but here's the re-execute. Just the single smoke and the flash to go in.
Gyra's in the perfect position to shut it down. Double kill. Turns into 3. Apoc dart is the last one to fall, and Brace, the last one alive for VERTEX. Their chances have slipped away. They had so many opportunities, but Order will not be denied a chance at the major still. 16-13 on the final map.
See, if Renegades makes it into the grand final, at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter too much what Order does.
Yeah, Order obviously waiting for Renegades or Ex-Direwolves down in that lower bracket match, but they certainly would be hoping that they're going to be facing Renegades, because with that match, then there is still a chance that they can make their way to the major if they were to win it, and then obviously also go on to win the grand final. But that is exactly what Order requires. Renegades, as you mentioned, they just need to make it into the grand final. It doesn't matter whether it's through the upper bracket, through the lower bracket, as long as they get there.
Well, it was pretty interesting, you know. Renegades, they started a little bit slow, and Ex-Direwolves, I thought, oh, you know what? There's a chance here. There's a chance we can see this upset happen. 30 seconds into the pistol round, and RNG are starting to get a bit aggressive over towards ramp, try to draw out those early rotations, but now busting in towards A, looking to go in with a God Flash, but it's a double CT Heaven setup, and make it a triple. Okay. Planted for an X, and it's just going to be a flood from Heaven, but nothing goes the way of Ex-Direwolves. Now Renegades holding down the fort on site, and it's Apoc in a 1-on-5 to try to clutch this, mate. Oh, he's found himself that first kill, but things are going to get extremely spicy, and it's going to be Renegades that will have to throw the round if he has any opportunity here.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. It kind of seemed like Ex-Direwolves, they got absolutely wiped in towards Heaven there. No other way to put it. He didn't have a kit available to him.
Oh, drift up just behind that smoke, and Inns is not going to be able to travel to safety through secret. So spam through the smoke works out for 1. That gives Ex-Direwolves the man advantage, but from here it's okay. Licky with the Zeus of all things. Picking himself up a rifle as well. Has a molly to play with. Just fun timing. Molly thrown, and oh, another. How's he done this? Sicko able to find one from the grave, but things get complicated now for Renegades. So much to deal with. Smoking single, watching double seems to be the call of Order, but Sterling sneaking in through control, now spotted, but values his life and hits that control. Molly forces him out, but he's going to find one before falling, and there you have it. Quick retake. Ooh, nice little pop flash, Sterling. Looked straight at it and is going to be hazard to mop things up. Finding himself the triple from the short side, and Sterling still here and able to fight Collat to close it. You can see Ince wanting to go out first there with that Tech Knight as well. So here's the flash off to Ali, who's going to use it to try to get the boys in, but Savage saw it coming, so it's have absolutely no effect for the moment. Ali swinging wide, looking for a trade, but the A1S is on bloody fire at the moment. APOC as well, just smashing his way off the ladder. I don't know if he's making any noise jumping up onto Hut there. He seems to have gone a very silent way, but he's going to be spotted regardless. Hazza not missing much today. APOC coming in on the flank. Ali not spotting that one. Ince gets a knife for vengeance, but unfortunately, it hasn't led to too much. Sicko in a 1-on-2 needs to perform with a silenced SMG with the MP5 to make this one happen for Renegades. Just edging around Tetris here, and oh, he's going to be able to find one. Potential for an upgrade, but which way is Licky coming from? Looks like he's just holding that lobby control, waiting for a tap before making a move, and there's no kit on Sicko. Licky. Oh, he's not going for peak initially. Sicko could have landed it, but it's Licky the little bit sharper this time. Hiding just behind default. When's the moment to strike? Looks like that moment was now, but he's only able to find one. Ince coming in over the top to find himself the double, triple, maybe even the 4K. No. Sterling putting a stop to it, but he's only got 1 HP. 7 seconds to play with, and he knows that he's going to get pushed. He hears the jiggle. Sicko takes him down before the clock strikes.
Trying to extend their control into the site here. A couple of missed opportunities. Renegades still fighting over here for the actual site control, and they are just not losing a duel map.
Oh, and then Ince over the top is...
Yeah, some decent angles here for the T's. Retake flashes coming in handy. There is a smoke on the bomb, so potential for a ninja in the smoke here.
Sicko taps it on the edge as well, just trying to use the crane as cover, and he's going to reel it all the way in. Oh, Ex-Direwolves can't find the man.
Yeah, 4-on-4 being really slowed down here by Ex-Direwolves. They're trying to bleed extra mistakes out of Renegades, but they have a significant utility disadvantage. More HE grenades and Molotovs being burned towards the site to try to deny that bomb plant, but APOC gets it down anyway, and Sterling's going to pick up Alice there.
Oh, another as well into Sicko, and now things get tricky for Renegades. Flashing their way in, up above lobby, but eyes on the prize there. Hat's able to react in time. APOC just spamming away through. Hat's, of course, just finding the timing there from window. Trying to cover both angles, but manipulates it and finds APOC looking the wrong way. But still a chance here. Flash for the retake. Ali falling as Savage holds down the fort. Big flash sets up Sicko for success. Goes forward for 2 1/3 to close out the half. 12-3. Slowing it up now. Sicko just trying to catch someone off from the mid rotate, but Licky sharp with the A1 now. Playing here from Goblin, swinging wide though. Is it going to work? Yes for one, not the second. Ali close for the trade. It's a 2-on-2. Late lurk in, brings another kill into the bag for RNG. Now it's all up to APOC in a 1-on-2 to keep Ex-Direwolves here in Vertigo. He's going to be spotted. Not going to find it. There you have it. It is Renegade 16-3 on map number 2.
Very quick flank with Inns in tow, so looking to line up a couple of those long-range USP shots. I'm not sure if APOC's going to be checking them in time. He does turn around, and actually... Oh, I thought that was going to be a multi-frag in there.
Yeah, there's a world where it could have worked out. However, it's all up to Sterling. Man's gone, though. So... before they're given a chance to even fight there in the post plant, Renegades just collapse in, and there you go, Mitch. It's another pistol in the bag, and they're all going to quickly send a message with the USPs as well. Ex-Direwolves now just looking to take some contact here. The noise going to be made by some CTs at long, but in comes the train of T's, and Inns off the back of the nade is just going to go in for 3. It's up to Savage and Hazard to make this happen, but it's all down to the little man Hazard. 1-on-3. Just trying to find a line, tapping away, no head found. Yet to get on the board for himself, but just decides to wrap around. He's got a minute to play with. Bomb, of course, up there on the elbow, and hard for him to retrieve, but the A1S just very accurate at range. 30 seconds, so the clock is certainly against them for the moment. Inns looking to take contact on ramp with a Goose player too, and he's going to spam one through the smoke, making a second! Ridiculous from Inns here on ramp. How's he been allowed to do that? He's thrown one flash, and he's barely seen the T's, and Sicko as well. Not going to be cleared. Licky's got bomb in hand. APOC Looking to do some orienteering over towards the B side. Might have threaded the timing. Flash through. Hats from above. Can't get anything done. And there's a flash coming in from Ince to try to support Sicko on side. It works for one, but not another. Savage able to trade. And the numbers almost there, except Ince has snatched one away through the doors, through the smoke, through bloody everything. And it might just be the flood onto site. Bomb not tapped yet, but still plenty of time for Ex-Direwolves to play with. Ali going in off the back of flash, straight through the smoke now. Flooding, there's two for Alistair. And it's up to Sterling, just dancing around here at Heat and needs to isolate a fight, but it's a swing around, ring around the rosy. Secondary, not going to be enough, and it's Ali.
They're making some kind of an upset happen with Deagles. Very quick on the mid to B. Have actually caught Renegades off guard a little bit.
Smoke fades, and Ali tries to pick them off like flies. Finds himself two. Savage can't make it through the door. And has his 10 HP, hoping for something in the smoke. Goes for the knife, and he'll find it as well. Right click in the back. See you later, APOC.
One flash on Alistair. He's good enough to just full blind Sterling. He's going to limit his options on the cross here as he tries to pluck a couple of heads, but he's just finding no luck at all. Mac and Malta is just going to put him in the dirt immediately. Bomb plant goes down. Retake on middle, and he's going to clean that one up as well.
Able to get one, but not the second man, but they know has his position. He has to make his way up Xbox against 3 Ts. Savage hasn't tapped it yet, but he's got himself a kit to play with. Has it down. But again, it's going to be so hard for Savage to do anything here. He's got an extra 5 seconds to play with the kit on his belt. But other than that, oh, this is rough for him. RNG just 100% in the round, making sure there is absolutely no way Savage can get away with a round. And there it is. It's going to be 5 pistol rounds in the pocket of Renegades this series. And it's now 12-4. Just 4 rounds away from the W. Renegades all in towards A long, and so are Ex-Direwolves. Everyone over towards the A side of the map. They're just risking it for the biscuit. Let's see who's going to hit more. A couple of flashes come through, and Isis has his time to strike. He's found one with an aggressive push through the smoke, but Sicko playing underneath Savage and gets spammed through the box. It's going to be Ali to pick it up. Who knows what way this one's going to go, but it looks like it's tilting towards Renegades now. Molly over towards ramp as Licky has... Oh no, it's APOC! No armor! Gets some impact with the A1S, and the reload has to come through. Licky doing it with the MP9, but it's Ali to close it, and Renegades, they've done it. Booked their ticket into the grand final.
So obviously touching on those two rosters again, you know, no notable changes coming through for either team today. I feel as though Order has been a little bit down on their output in the last month or so. I think looking at some of the matches that they've played, there has certainly been some moments, there's been some streaks that have looked good, but by and large, it's felt like they haven't really been that consistent force that we had come to expect from them over the course of the first 6 months of 2021. They weren't necessarily able to push Renegades too hard, I don't think. You know, they even took 3 maps to actually get the better of VERTEX, and every single one of those maps was like a 16-13 or a 16-14, and there was chances for overtimes in both. There was very much a chance for VERTEX to come away with the win, you know, so he's fairly susceptible, and that's going to make it look pretty good from Sterling. A double kill, the first one expected, but Valiance not quite able to swing around and find the frag. Now the bomb is dropped. Order will try to retrieve. Ricky gets the wall bang onto Sterling, which will help out, but they pick the pace up, and Licky puts the UMP to good use. He'll just back up a pace and try to play the 2-on-1. Order surely can't drop around here. Ex-Direwolves are going to give it their best crack. Trade can't quite come through. Slowly but surely, the round just starts to peter out for Order.
I don't really know what's going on. I'm like, what is Order doing right now?
And it is a straight out rush from Order towards the A-bomb site. Timing might not be too favorable for them though. What a flash and what a round. Whittles down the numbers for both sides just a little bit. APOC is coming into his own though. Has the P250 in hand. Has to make a difference with that weapon, and so far is doing so. Gyra loses his life against Savage, or rather the vice versa, and then Gyra pulls off the 2-on-1. Ex-Direwolves are quickly working their way up long. Not seeming to be much of a problem for Order though, because the MP9s are going down. You still are Ricky. They just farm it up. MP9s were retained through for both Ricky and Usillo, which leaves their firepower looking a bit susceptible, but if they're going to play behind a smoke like that, it's going to work. MP9 fire rate getting the better of one, but not another. Hazard doubles down with the AK. Puts some inroads in on toward that A-bomb site as well. Not chucked into the corner, no one will be hiding there. Hazza is a man on a mission in this round. He's got 4 kills. As they're opening the door, does alert Ricky to his presence, and that's going to be a deagle in the back of the head for him. Gyra playing the crossfire from short. Commit to this retake in the end. No defuse kits available for either of the CTs, and they still have yet to dig out the 2 remaining Ex-Direwolves players. So the round is going to go the way of the T side. It costs all 5 guns. But again, T side, it's not the biggest of concerns. We're not quite in hot water just yet for Ex-Direwolves. Still got a lot of rounds to play with here, though. This one is not exactly what they would have been looking for. Just pistols coming out. Bit of damage, however, being done. Savage, the P250 in hand, is putting in some good work. Nice little sneak back from Licky. Gets the head off of Vexite. Hello creeping around the corner as well as going to lose his. And all of a sudden, Ex-Direwolves are back in pole position. If anything could not go worse for Order, I don't know. When he eventually gets Licky, bomb plant's going down on A though. It should right now be a 2-on-2. Hazza, however, is surviving on 10 HP. It must have gone through the wall. But I can't imagine how.
Double orb retake in the 2-on-3. No utility to cover off that bomb defuse, or should be maybe for Gyro at least.
Or not.
Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fallen by the wayside now. 16-10 in the end. Radio, I suppose, and playing a little bit of a crossfire with Valiants, but it's not going to make too much of a difference in this round because Ex-Direwolves are a bit more interested in what is happening on A. He's still low. It's a nice one with a deagle, but Licky gets Vexite as he falls off of the rafters. You still are dropped as well.
Just not really had the timing going his way. Good news for him, though, is his Ferrari peeked in there. Found Valiance in lobby. APOC has found one of the players in warehouse, so only Gyro is unknown. Puts the Nova to good use, but unfortunately, doesn't quite find the dink. And that is why no one really uses the Nova, even in ideal circumstances. Point blank range, still doesn't give it a kill.
They kept saying, well, we're probably not going to be a team after we get knocked out, but they never got knocked out. Time has run out. They don't have a smoke. They can't sit this bomb. There's no way that Ex-Direwolves lets this round fall by the wayside. Licky kills Valiance, and inevitably time runs out. The kills come through for Order, but they had no time for defuse, and Ex-Direwolves go up to 4.
Freebie, Gyra. Don't know where his eyes were, but not on the screen. Savage doesn't need to see anything with his. Just straight through the smoke. A smoke bag and a kill into Hut. How is this deco happening?
All the Ex-Direwolves players actually get across and get into secret. They'll get down to B. Savage has found himself an AWP, but he's going to put that to good use as well. 3 kills from Savage. He's in a decent spot to get some work done, and if he gets a shot through like that, then maybe there are a few more tricks up the sleeve of Order. It has sent Ex-Direwolves walking through the smoke, but Ricky's got the timing, found the M4. Smokes are starting to fade. Sterling watching, but Vexite's going to find the timing. He spotted the AWP, does actually get the kill over there for Ricky, who puts another one through with the M4. Savage can't salvage it this time. And Ex-Direwolves, after all their heroics in the previous round, are going to let one swing back the way of Order. He's getting a lot of info. It's the creep into the A-bomb site. That might still work out for Ex-Direwolves, but they line up for Vexite. Got himself a double. Sterling trying to salvage anything he can, but really not too much on offer here. And so it'll be on to Licky to dive down into the B bomb site and try to get the bomb plant down, which it seems he'll be able to do. 1 on 3, but he's not really going to give himself too much time to find a decent post plant. Makes some noise going through the doors. Order should have heard that. See what Licky can do. 1 on 3. This should be a nail in the coffin for Order if he finished it off. Great shot. Gyra drops. A 1-on-1 against Ricky as well, but now the bomb being defused. Oh, you still owe. Just gets off it in time to survive, but Licky is buying so much time. Flash comes through again. Now Justillo's on the defuse. In the end, the round will go the way of the CT side. APOC able to find the trade on another. Still not looking fantastic for Ex-Direwolves, but you forget that Savage exists. And then he pulls off a kill like that. 11 and 6 so far on this map. APOC hightailing it down to B as well. I want to see if APOC actually ends up creeping into ramp. It doesn't look like he's been able to do so. And Valiance has just spotted him. The head will get knocked off, and so it's on to Savage. 1-on-2. Lots of time for Order to work with, but still a lot of angles for them to clear. Decon, Megaton, Rafters even as well. And Valiance is given an opportunity. Savage didn't miss on the second shot, though, on the Vex side, and that is a 2-on-1 clutch. 10's out for Ex-Direwolves. Don't seem to be a particularly exciting prospect, but the Vex side both don't have head armor. Still, it's not going to matter too much if Gyra is able to do the majority of the work. MP9 spray from Justillo eventually runs out of bullets, and it's Vexite to try and trade, and eventually falling as well. It's just a bit of chaos entering into that bomb site, but Sterling is still alive. Sterling gets a free kill onto Ricky. What has happened there? It was a 1-on-2. Ricky just burning, I think, from full HP. Leaves Sterling in the 1-on-1, and Valiance is on the wrong bomb site, so it's going to take him some time to get down to B. Sterling could be anywhere at this point. First half ends up looking. That's a very nice Molotov from Valiance, but is it going to buy enough time? Defuse is on 5 seconds for Valiance, but way too easy in the end for Sterling.
Biding his time, I think he wants to throw that on the defuse.
Hazard already losing his life. Savage chiming in with a couple licky there as well. On top of Rafters, Sterling executes Vexite, and it is now just Ricky trying to survive, which he'll do long enough to keep the pistol round going in the favor of Order, but it was a near thing.
There's still plenty of room for error on this CT side.
Oh, and this could actually be a little problematic if Licky finds ways to cause some damage with the AWP, which he already has done. Opportunities present themselves. Vexite, wow, that is a very nice spray down. It's off the back of a 2-0 in DreamHack as well, and then obviously there was 3 maps in the upper bracket of this tournament, but I feel as though that was a bit of an anomaly of an ancient map for Ex-Direwolves. I don't see them go down 16-4 if you play that another 100 times. This one, though, starting to work its way back in the favor of Order. It's a lobby crunch from Order, but not in the fashion that you'd normally expect to see it. Hazard is watching into Hut. He does spot Justillo out, swings around. It's a 1-on-1 now. Savage stuck in the corner, and Gyra, oh, he sort of knew, but he second-guessed himself. That's the end of the map. Ex-Direwolves will take it. 16 on the board for them, and they finish off the series with a 2-0 today. And you can see, obviously, it is Renegades that have gotten comfortably through that grand final from the upper bracket side of things. 2-0 against VERTEX, 2-1, you mentioned again yesterday against Ex-Direwolves. A little bit of a hiccup on Nuke, but overall, they're into that grand final with the map advantage. Ex-Direwolves do have to come through at the lower bracket this time, but it honestly wasn't a huge concern for them today. 2-0 over Order looked really clean. You know, I think for me, right, in this grand final, it is one that we've seen so many times before. What I'm looking for is for the Ex-Direwolves players to really be hitting peak form and coming into this match looking hot, because if they don't, you know, we're obviously going to see Renegades walk away with the win. There is really no questions that coming into this grand final, Renegades are the favorites, but there has been a precedent set by Ex-Direwolves that they can compete with this team on their day. But for me, that's the big caveat. On their day, Ex-Direwolves is today their day. I suppose that's something that we're going to have to find out over the next few hours. There's time starting to run down, and with 25 seconds, the bomb, it was going towards A, now it's coming back down towards B. Ex-Direwolves have really left this one to the last possible second. The 11th hour as they try to make their way into the B site. Luckily, might have drawn a couple of rotations, and In's not able to hold strong on the entry. Things start to fall apart a little bit for Renegades on the defense. Straight through the smoke on upper is Malta. Does do enough to salvage 1 kill, but can get no more. And we're back to the 2-on-2 post-plant now for APOC and Savage, who seem to be handling things quite nicely. That's a shot from Alistair, but a good trade from APOC, and Ex-Direwolves will win the round. Really, really awkward at this point in time. Information out on the B bomb site says that there's no one headed in that direction, so Renegades send all their forces up toward A. Sicko, Alistair chiming in with 1 or 2 apiece, and there's another, and that is Renegades to win yet another pistol buy against Ex-Direwolves. Alistair, a little bit of an awkward spot for him now if these two swing him together, and Hazza somehow finds the headshot on an awkward angle. Alistair certainly not expecting that one, and now it falls to Inns to do a little bit of delaying. Give time for the rotations to come across. Nice work Dispatching of Hazard, he's able to fall back to the relative safety of CT Spawn, continues to just peek up and down, be a little bit of an annoyance for Ex-Direwolves. But really what he's trying to do,
Wow.
I mean, short of winning the round himself, is buy time for Malta to come from behind, but it's not going to be necessary. Inns just puts on a masterclass.
Great chip damage in there. Sicko and Alistair just back-to-back orping on Party, and they're hitting everything. Like, they just wiped the whole of the T side.
And it continues to impress. Alistair, Sicko both having a great half. Everyone on Renegades really is having a great half. Can't forget to mention the rest. And it's just APOC left, and which, if you think about it, is probably not a bad thing.
I prefer that.
More thought going into the pistol rounds. Sterling, though, I mean, he doesn't need to do a whole lot of work here. He's got Hazard to back him up. Those two M4s at range are picking Renegades to pieces. Very clean stuff from Ex-Direwolves. Sterling would have been spotted. Well, he certainly has been now. Gets the leg shot onto Alistair, who's just jumping around all over the place, and the Deagle put to good use. Now it is Sicko in the one-on-one, and all he really has to do here is buy time, which is exactly what he's done. Sterling might have had it if he would have got the headshot there onto Sicko and jumped straight on the bomb, but Renegades will find their 13th. He's going to continue to pick the pace up as well. Alistair's watching into playground, but not expecting APOC to have continued to push. That is Masterstroke. Katz is going to have to turn away from the flash, and he'll also lose the duel against APOC, making amends for that last round. He's going to send all of Renegade scurrying in his direction, trying to deal with this map control that's been taken. What a mess! APOC's gotten another, and he might just get one more. Malta only just holds it down, but goodness me, what has happened there? I think one of the big things in this half has been that Renegades have barely gotten a bomb plant down. I'm pretty sure there's only been 2 rounds so far. So they're just not getting into the bomb sites. Malta must have been spotted there for the Ex-Direwolves players to fall away. Hats hits a nice one on the entry. Wouldn't want to fumble it here, Ex-Direwolves. So they're going to ensure that they lock it down nicely indeed. And it is only that one good kill on the entry from Renegades that they'll get out of that round. 13-11. A lot of util usage from Renegades early on in that round leaves them with only the essentials to hit the A bomb site later on. Sterling, he's almost gotten a beat on the Sicko. Is the swing going to come through? It will from Inns, but Sterling is more than enough for that challenge. Now the CT AWP can start to wrap in behind bathrooms. Through the smoke he goes. By the looks of things, Renegades surely not prepared for that at all, and Sicko will lose his life as well. This is a man on a mission. Sterling, 3 kills in the round, even gets hats there as well, and it falls apart for Renegades. He has just utterly bamboozled them. And that'll be one more, thank you very much. Sterling's on for the ace, and it looks like he might just get it as well. He's headed in the right direction. Alistair wrapping back away from long toward playground. Sterling is looking in that direction as well. And very nearly gets it by the skin of his teeth. Alistair survives. You can tell Sterling wants it here. He's not quite going to have the luck. Renegades might just have found that missing piece of the puzzle that they needed to close things out. Savage was on for a double. He'll get it. He'll get the triple as well. Again, Ex-Direwolves pull out a bit of magic. And Renegades will not be able to find the end of the map just yet. Unless Alistair goes ballistic with the AWP, he's got a 4-on-1 to deal with. Doesn't have control of the bomb.
Players like Sicko and Inns are really hoping for a bomb plan in towards that next round if they drop this one. Or the buy might be looking a little more lackluster. Much more quick tempo play here, but the HE nades being dropped responsively, and Sterling just doubles up.
Surely nothing can go wrong for Ex-Direwolves from this point. Sterling has it on lockdown. Sicko out of the picture already, and with 20 seconds, Malta just creeps into the angle that Hazard is watching. It's too easy. What have they got to get into this site? Just some good shots is really what it's going to take. Alistair had a chance there, but he couldn't hold on against Hazard. Malta is able to trade one back down, but Renegades need more. They need way more. And Inns is going to be gifted one. Maybe it's still on the cards for the T side as they get control of the A bomb site. Malta pushes into bank. Renegades pulling off what feels like the impossible. Ex-Direwolves have done so much work to get it back to this point, but Renegades now, surely it's theirs. 16-14, Sicko will confirm it. Renegades has been given all the time in the world to set up for this post plan as best they want to, and Hats is putting on a show. A triple kill from him, and Alistair cleans one more up as well. That was very sharp indeed. Barely any shots fired in the round, and almost all of them were headshots. Renegades walks away with the win. One player out of the picture. Maybe a couple more picks to come through here for Ex-Direwolves if they get their timings right. APOC going to land a shot with that Deagle, and Sicko doubles down onto Licky. It's just Sterling now. So any chances of winning the round seem to have slipped away from them. But still more opportunities for damage and maybe an AK through to the next round if Sterling gets lucky and is able to get out of here. Sicko is waiting for him though. Malta might well go through this smoke. He hides behind it for now, waiting for the push to come through from the CT side. Apartment's still dirty, and now Malta needs to clutch out the 1-on-3. Time of the essence, though, for Ex-Direwolves, and I think they might have timed themselves out of this round. Certainly now that Malta's found that kill, Sterling will get the final one onto Malta, marking it as a very expensive round for Renegades. But in the end, Ex-Direwolves will not be able to pick the round up, and they will also not be able to take the AK through.
For looking for Org, 20-8. And they lost 16-13. Oh my god.
Okay, Savage with the 5-7. Savage with the 5-7. Excuse me. You're not supposed to be able to do that. The grenade is probably going to take him down, but it still leaves the remaining two Renegades players with a bit too much work to do. How have we gotten there? Necessarily been the focal point, but they've had some presence there every single round. Savage with the AWP. He's going to grab himself too. Renegade's just running around the corner like they don't think he's there anymore, but he didn't fall off the line, and he actually punishes them for it. Still, Alistair is up to the challenge, entering into the B bomb site. He gets another frag with that AWP. Licky is out with the M4 in hand. Malta trying to take him in a fight, but Alistair again gets the kill, this time off the back of a Molotov, so he's getting it done with pretty much every possible weapon in the arsenal for Renegades in this round. AWP, pistol, Molotov. Yeah, Haz is in a great spot to shut this down, but Malta and Inns combining for the kill there. APOC will be checked by Sicko, and it starts to fall apart a little bit for Ex-Direwolves. Renegades are just hitting too many heads. Time is a factor though, and they'll have to pick things up pretty quickly. Savage is by Firebox. They should know it, and they do. Just the 1-for-1, so not ideal, but Malta's going to get some time to put the incendiary down in front of him, play a bit of a different position. Sterling's all over it though. This is the first time that we've seen an advantage for Ex-Direwolves in a little while. They'll want to make sure they can convert it. Sicko's caught out in no man's land and doesn't get any assistance in the end. Hats will get run over as well, so much better from Ex-Direwolves here. They've just brawled their way out onto the A bomb side at the back of some awkward aim duels, I'd say, for Renegades. And now Alistair will just try to make it as expensive as possible.
Great molly. You would have thought it would have cleared out Hazard and started burning him a little bit earlier on, and he has heard the flames tickling Hazard's feet. Will calibrate onto the player, drops a smoke on the bomb, and you thought he was going to go for a bit of a smoke defuse or threaten a smoke defuse, but Sterling on the wraparound through murder hole. Spy doesn't look so great here for Ex-Direwolves. Couple of Galils, not the greatest utility across the board. Smoke goes into window, but Alistair's well in front of it.
He's finding a couple of picks as well, isn't he, Pilski? It has been a banger of a series from Alistair. We take a look at the stats from Overpass and here on Mirage as well, as it does get picked up by Sicko. Yeah, I mean, if we do take a look at the bracket, Pilski, you will obviously see a fairly solid run through for Renegades. They did drop the one map in the upper bracket final. That was against Ex-Direwolves, but aside from that, you know, 2-0 against VERTEX, and then 3-0 in the grand final against Ex-Direwolves. They only dropped the one map here as opposed to the couple that we did see them dropping in DreamHack. So it has been a bit of a cleaner run from Renegades. Not perfect, obviously, but about as good as it's going to get for Renegades at this point in time in the ANZ region.